Well, hello, hello. And we're back for some more fun and entertainment. I was like, are you sick of me yet? Are you sick of me? All right, so we're going to wait to see who's coming about. Hello. Welcome on in. Tonight we're going to be working on factoring. So factoring polynomials, especially with the GCF, the greatest common factor. Hope you guys are having a lovely day, afternoon, evening. My day has been nonstop cray-cray. Hey! So if you know anyone that is having problems with, let's see, basic algebra, they're having problems with possibly getting their GED, getting their acuplacer, maybe even someone that is trying to go into the military that needs a little assistance with the ASVAT, the exam. This is the live for them. So if you know that, go ahead and share this information with them. We're going to be working on factoring. So now the factoring polynomials is usually a nice big chunk, especially for the GED test, as well as the acuplacer, ACT, SAT, all those major examinations, they always have some kind of factoring in there. So as you guys are coming in, hey, it's so great. Army Strong, there it is. Yes. So if you know of anyone that's going to go through those things, or maybe even your child is just struggling with factoring, this is the live for you. All right, so without further ado, let's get to it because we're not going to be here for 5 hours like we were yesterday. That was cray. All right. So before we get into the whole process of it, I always like to think of factoring just like the TV show Jeopardy. So with Jeopardy, they'll read you the answers, but then you have to answer with a question, right? So what is this? What is, this? What is whatever? And what is, who is, how is, all that. The same thing is happening with factoring. All right. So when you're factoring, you're basically undoing what's happening to the distributive property. Okay. So if you recall, the distributive property is when you are going from in this case, our monomial, and you're distributing into that binomial. And when you distribute, you multiply. So when we're taking a look, we have our 3x times the 7. So 3x times 7, that gives us 21x. And then 3x times negative 3x. Remember, when you're multiplying, you're adding the exponents. So a positive 3 times a negative 3 gives me a negative 9. And then x times x gives me x squared. All right. So that's the distributive property. All right. So they give you the question and you find them the answer. But with factoring, it goes the other way around. All right. So when you're factoring, they will give you the expression first. And you're going to have to figure out what is the greatest common factor that both has 21 and 9 in common. So if I think of it this way, which multiplication table has a 9 and a 21 in common other than 1? All right. Everybody's like 1, obviously 1, but there's something other than 1. So in this case, with 21 and 9, they both have a 3 in common. But take a look at the variables, okay? This one has an x, and this one has 2 x's. So if I can write it out like, okay, one has an x, and the other one has x times x. Because remember, x squared is equivalent to x times x. So if I were to group them, I have one group or one set of x's in common. So that means I need to pull out one x from each of these terms. So that means my GCF, or they like to say your greatest common factor, is going to be 3x. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this GCF, this 3x, and you're going to divide it by the original expression. So when I do this, I have 21 divided by 3. That gives me 7. So I have 1x here. I pull 1x out. That means I don't have any x's left. So I don't have to bring down any x's. Then the minus sign comes down. Then I do the process again, but with the other term. So now I have 9 divided by 3. That will give me 3. I have 2 x's to start off with. I pull one of those x's out. That means I have 1 x left. So do you see how the distributive property, basically factoring, is the opposite of distributive property? It's just basically doing it in reverse. Okay, so Firestorm has 7 and 3. Yes. Okay, hello Cindy. Hi Fox Beast. The names you guys have. Okay, but I'm so glad that you guys are here. So we're going into this world called factoring. Now I'm going to be truthful. Multiplication table is really going to help you out. Okay, really getting to know your multiplication is basically the whole thing. Factoring and distributed property are different. Yes, they are. They're basically opposites of each other in a way. Okay, so with the distributive property, we're going to multiply to find our expression, whereas factoring, you're going to divide it by the GCF to figure out what is left over. Okay, so we're really going to hit on tonight just the GCF so we can kind of get that down in solid. All right, thanks for asking, Firestorm. All right, so without further ado, we're actually going to take this step by step. So let me see if I can zoom in just a tad. All right, so the next example we have is 6x minus 18. Okay, so we try to hit on this. Math has always been my worst subject to a point where I have massive anxiety trying to do it. Leo. Okay, Leo Steph. All right, so this is one thing. I think this is the first time I'm seeing you here. We are trying to chill, okay? I keep saying this. This is not Squid Games. I understand, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to take things step by step. All right, so by the end of today's session, you're going to be able to do this. And you're not going to have anxiety. You're not going to flip out. We're going to be okay. Okay, we're going to make it through step by step. Let's say that you have the factor problem, 21x minus 9x squared. How do you find the GCF? I am new, okay? So you're going to need to find multiples. That's why the multiplication problem is going to get there. Going to try to get through it. Yes, Leo, I love it. That's all you want to do. That's all I ask. Okay, hold up. Let me grab my pen. Not a problem. I'm willing to do that. Aaron! You had me at Squid Games. I know. I think the very first time I saw Squid Games, I was like, what in the holies of all kinds of things is this? And I was like, whoo, who knew that these childhood games were so dangerous? But we are trying not to eliminate anyone. Just because you can't get it right off the bat, don't worry, okay? I'm here to try to break it down as best I can, okay? I try to keep it as simple terms as much as possible. We are not, no, Amber, no anxiety, calm down. All right. All right, so I'm guessing example 1 is factoring because I don't see any brackets for multiplication. Yes, all of them I'm going to give you is going to start off and we're going to be factoring for all of them. So now, let's go through this. 34 years, I've never got it. All right, well, let's see. So we have our 6 and we have our 18. So Paco, that's such a good try. But as you can see inside your parenthesis, you can break it down even further. Okay? So 6 and 18. What is the greatest? Okay? That's what we're looking for. The GCF. We know that 6 and 18 are both multiples of 2. We know that 6 and 18 are both multiples of 3. 6 and 18 is not multiples of 4 nor 5, but they're both multiples of 6. Not of 7, not of 8, not of 9, and we're going to stop. So, of these 3, which is the greatest common factor? Which is the greatest one? Yes, thank you. Yes, 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 yes. Hey, Cass. Hey, Jay Johnson. Hey, look at all these people. Look at this. So we have 6. So I'm going to write my 6 out here. Now, next to the 6, there's an X. But for the 18, there isn't an X. So since they both don't have an X in common, we do not pull that X out. So our GCF for this is going to be 6. So now we're going to take our original and divide it by our GCF. So 6x divided by 6 gives me 1x, or just x. The minus sign that's there, I'm going to bring it on down. And then 18 divided by 6 will give me 3. Okay? So now, this is our factored form of 6x minus 18. Okay? Good, Manny. I know, I said, wow, now this makes sense. Good. Give me another one. Not a problem. We're going to be here for a minute. Not a problem. Where is the 2 from the GCF? Where is the 2? So we were just making a list of what multiplication table contains both a 6 and an 18. So I was just making a list of possible GCFs. Does that make sense? Quan, does that make sense? Okay. Yeah, so we're not using each of them. We just wanted to know, okay, which one has my multiples with both the 6 and the 18 in there, and which one was the largest one. All right, so let's do this one. I'm going to see if I can slide this bad boy over just a little bit. Okay, so we have 36 t to the 4th plus 24t squared. Okay, let me bring that over so you guys can see. So 36t to the 4th plus 24t squared. So which number has 36 and 24 in it? Okay. Oh, I saw a sad face. What we got? Everything's flashing on here. Hey, Native Ash, how you doing? Hi, I'm late. No problem. Silence is golden. What's wrong? You're seeing math and you're freaking out and it's bringing you a flashback and you're starting to feel like a little trauma going on? No worries. No worries. Okay, this is a stress-less zone, okay? It's gonna be okay. All right, so I'm seeing some sixes. I'm seeing some frowns. Why am I seeing frowns, Firestorm? What's going on? So we really need to get to know our multiplication table. So we know we have multiples of 2s. Okay, we have 3s. Okay, we don't have 4s because of the 24. We don't have 5s because they don't end in 5 or 0. Okay, we do have some 6s. Don't have 7s. Don't have 8s because of 36. Don't have 9 because of 24. Not in 10s because they both don't end in 0s. Not 11 because they're not in double digits. But we also have 12. So the greatest is going to be our 12. Now, if I take my 12, that'll be for the numbers. But what about for the variables? Okay, we got Logan. There you go, Firestorm. You got that. Tracy, how are you, dear? Oh, then Crystal, sneaking in here. Look at you guys. I just turn my head and all of a sudden y'all just sneak on in here. All right. So we have Michael that joined, Zoe. All right. So we have 4 t's. T to the 4th power, that means t times t times t times t. So we have 4 of those t's. T squared, that means we have 2 t's. How many t's do we have grouped together? Okay, good. I see the variable is what has me stuck. Okay, so t to the 4th, I'm going to put it up here. That's t times t times t times t. T squared, that's t times t. If I were to group them, how many groups of t's do I have? Learning integrals. Yeah, that's fine, Logan. And I appreciate you stopping by, but you never know. Okay, so you can take t squared out. Yes, because since there's 2 groups of t's, we can take those 2 out. So now you're going to take your original expression. So common to be here, though. No problem. You can relax and chill. I'm not chasing you out, So you got your original, and you're going to divide it by your GCF. So 36 divided by 12, that will give me, I actually started going back to school this year. My brain is frozen on all this math and algebra. And that's fine. Hey, Audrey. That's fine. But see, here's my thing. All we have to do is wipe away the cobwebs for a little bit. It's okay. Eventually, it's going to click. So it's just like, when you don't do something for a long time, you're not expected to be an expert because you haven't done something in years. And all of a sudden, come on, it's all right. All right. So we're here to learn. We're here to process. So we're here to chill. So 36 divided by 12, that gives me my 3. Now, we have 4 t's here. We take 2 t's out. How many t's are left? Just flash it up. How many t's are left? If we started off with 4, we take 2 out. Yes. So we have 2 t's left. So that means what goes next to our 3 is a 3t squared. See that plus sign? Let's bring it on down. So now we're going to do the same thing. 24 divided by 12. Good. Gives me 2. And since we have 2 t's here, we pulled out 2 t's. That means we don't have any t's left. So right here, this is completely factored. And this is the secret. This is another thing. If you look inside your parenthesis and these two numbers, the coefficients and the constant, if they are bigger than, or the only thing they have in common is bigger than 1, that means you need to factor that down one more time. Okay, so it's almost like, I think it was Paco, with the first one that we did. Let me slide over for a sec. Because if I did 6 and 8 and I said that they have, I think it was 3 in common. I'm going to put it in pencil so I can erase it. So if I said it was 3 in common, that means 6 divided by 3 gives me 2x. And 18 divided by 3 gave me 6. Notice inside the parenthesis, I have a 2 and a 6. So that means I got to find the GCF of this again. So it's going to look like this. 3 parentheses. Then what does 2 and 6 have in common? That's another 2. Parenthesis. And then you have to divide everything inside that parenthesis by 2. So that would be an x minus 3. And then these two numbers that you have on the outside, you would have to multiply them together. You see how, like, if I just did it by a number that I know, and then inside that parenthesis needs to be broken down again, it looks a little confusing, right? Okay, so it's always best to try to go for your greatest common factor, okay? Your greatest, the largest one. All right, not a problem. Not a problem. But see, here's my thing. You would still get the same answer. You would just have to break it down one more time, Paco. That's all you have to do. Hi, Holly. All right. Okay, I definitely need your help with the math section of the Accuplacer. Not a problem, Bill. Not a problem. Ooh, I'm going to need to translate this. I'm so sorry. I need a translator. Okay, of course it doesn't show up a translator. So anyway, I'm not going to report because I don't know what you're saying. I'm sorry, babes. Okay. All right. This is great. Awesome. All right. Summer. I'm like seeing everyone today. Nice. All right. So let's try another one. I'm going to erase this section because I want to make sure I got enough room for all our examples. Is that okay? It's just my friend. I invited him to learn math with us. Oh, not a problem. Can you zoom out so I can screenshot my writing, but I'm too slow. Oh, not a problem. Let me see if I can get all that in there. Let me slide over a bit. Let me know when you got it. Firestorm. Okay. All right. Got it? Awesome. All right. So I'm going to erase just this section. My other books are not going to be coming in for another couple of weeks. But you know what? I'm going to make it happen. We are going to make it happen. All right. So let's extend it from a binomial to a trinomial. And you're doing the same exact thing. So breathe. Breathe. It's going to be okay. All right. So let's try this. Let's go with, so we have 3x squared minus 15x plus 12. And let me see if I can zoom in just a hair. Oops, I'm always touching things. Every time I touch something, it's just like, is it about to explode? What's going on? All right. So 3x squared minus 15x plus 12. Hello. I love to see some education on here. I commend you for doing this. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. Boost following. Awesome. Great. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Life's Too Short. I love that. Okay, you're a great teacher. So, do you do the common enumerators first? Okay, silence is golden. So, what is it that 3, 15, don't worry about the signs, just look at the numbers. What number does 3, 15, and 12 have in common? Okay, are they multiples of 2s? Okay, so we got Paco and Boo are telling me they're multiples of 3s, which they are. Okay, here's a silly question. Can it be anything higher than 3? Okay, no. Good. And Miss Christie, I know I'm going to point you out. I'm so sorry. But why not? I know why not, but why not? Are we doing trinomial factoring? Yes, we are. My turkey symbol, I think. How the 15 and 12 are higher? Yes. No, okay. I don't think so because of the 3. Denise? Good. 3, it has to be something that has the 3, the 15, and the 12. So it can't be higher than the 3. This 3 is the lowest number, right? No, because they all have to equal the same GCF. Yes, because of the odd on the odd number of 3. Yes. All right, so if you guys said 3 is it, awesome. But is it a 3x? Yes or no? Good, the GCF cannot be higher than the lowest number. Thank you. Okay. All right. We don't have an x. Good, I gotta know. Now, do all of them have an x, including that 12? Okay, no. Good. So my GCF is just 3, and that is perfectly fine. Good. Jellyfish, no. Good. Leo Steph, good. All right. So we need to fill our parenthesis. So you go to the original and you divide it by the GCF. Okay. The x cancels himself out, right? You can think of it that way, or you can think of it like here's your original and you're subtracting. So since we don't have any x's to pull out, they should be coming down. Okay. The GCF cannot contain a variable if there is a constant. Right. Okay. All right. So make sure you're dividing. Are you on live every day? Yes. Monday through Friday at 1 o'clock, I'm live Eastern Standard Time. And Monday through Thursday, because I have a new client on Friday, at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. So jellyfish, don't forget, we need all 3 of these terms to be divided by 3. So we're dividing, not multiplying, dividing. So do we divide all numbers by 3? Yes. Division first, PEMDAS, dang. I know, right? It's like you're always like haunted by that thing. What time is that? Central Time. So Central Time will be 12 o'clock. Yep, 12 o'clock at 1 and 7:30. Your guys are an hour behind. Or I'm an hour ahead, whichever you prefer to look at it. There we go. Okay. The TikToker. It's been a minute. Gotcha. Thank you. Not a problem. There we go. The original Mrs. Christie. All right. Love it. Denise. Yes. Love it. Okay. There was a couple other people. I'm sorry. I got to zoom. All right, there we go. It looks like everyone's starting to see it now, which is good. Sue, how are you, my dear? All right, so I'm going to take this original 3x squared divided by 3. 3 divided by 3 gives me 1. I have 2 x's up here. I have no x's to pull out, so that means that x squared comes on down. So I like to say if I can't break it down, I bring it down. The minus sign, bring that down. 15 divided by 3 gives me a 5. And there's 1x in the original. We didn't pull any x's out, so that x comes on down. Bring down my plus sign. 12 divided by 3 gives me 4. Okay. There is another step, but I don't want to get to that. I just want to do the GCFs for tonight, just to make sure you got that. Okay. We want to get that solid because we all know that there's an extension to this. So AC method I'm trying to do tomorrow. And I think it's a method that a lot of you guys don't know, which I found it very interesting. You make it look easy. Okay, so we're good with this for right now. I know we can factor it completely. There is another step to this, but not tonight. Okay, not tonight. So let's try another one. Let's see. And someone did mention this earlier. And I want to see how we're doing. So we got negative 2x squared plus 8x minus 12. Okay. Negative 2x squared plus 8x minus 12. Okay. Sandra, why do you love asking that one question? This is like the third time you asked that question. Okay, just this one, please. Okay. Oh, wait. Because I'm stuck on it. Yeah, but here's my thing. I'm not doing integration. Make it look so easy. I'm going to say, where is this? Oh, yeah. After the X marks, after is X marks the spot. Okay. I try to break it down as simple as I can. All right. So, is everyone, I'm starting to see, divide all by 2, divide by 2, 2, 2. Ooh, negative 2, negative 2. Okay, there's a controversial. Okay, even Paco's saying negative 2. Okay, all right. Now, pause. Hey, Sarah. Now, I don't want anyone changing their answers. I'm seeing negative 2s. I'm seeing negative 4s. Hi. All right. Now, someone mentioned it, and I can't remember, and I will try to scroll to find it. Because I want to give credit when credit is due. That's just me. I'm one of those type of people. Kevin. Ding, ding, ding. Kevin says, can't there be a negative number that adds to negative 15 multiplied to 12? Now, when it comes to this, we do not like to have our what's called leading coefficients. The leading coefficient is the one with the highest degree. The one with the highest exponent is going to be my leading coefficient. We as math people do not like to have a negative number as a leading coefficient. So since we are factoring, we want to pull out the negative as well as the GCF for 2, 8, and 12. So when I pull out that negative, what number works well for 2, 8, and 12? A lot of you guys are saying 2. So my GCF is going to be the -2. Okay, so for those that said -2, hey, congrats. For those that said 2, you probably didn't know that that was a rule. So don't beat yourself up, all right? Breathe, okay? So the -2, that's my GCF. So now let's figure out what remains that will go inside that parenthesis. Only way to do that is take your original and divide by the GCF. All right, good. So negative divided by a negative gives me a what? You could put either the sign or you can type out the word. Either one will work. Okay, positive, positive, positive. This is what messes me up with borrowing. Why isn't the smaller number on the top of the bigger number? Because why is the smaller number not on top of the bigger number? Talk to me about your process. Okay, jellyfish, talk to me. What are you saying? Okay, so it is positive, guys. Good. But what do you mean? Because I want to make sure we get this. Okay. Because what we're trying to do is we always take the original divided by the GCF. Is that what you're talking about? Okay. Okay. I think so. I saw a heart. A couple of them. So a negative divided by a negative is going to be a positive. And 2 divided by 2 will give me 1. Since we didn't pull out any x squareds, that means this x squared comes on down. Okay. Now, we have a positive 8 divided by a -2. When the signs are opposite, my answer is always going to be negative. Multiplying, dividing, the rules are always the same. Is this called fraction? No. Well, actually, it kind of is. But this whole thing is called factoring, not fractions. So we're basically using the rules of fractions, which is breaking things down, to figure out what goes inside of our parenthesis, if that makes sense, Holly. Okay. Why a minus instead of a plus? Boom. Because anytime you're multiplying or dividing and the signs are opposite, your answer is always going to be a negative. So a negative divided by a negative will always be positive because the signs are exactly the same. But when the signs are different, your answer is always going to be negative, regardless if you're multiplying or dividing. Okay. Would you divide by 2? Yes, you would. Good. So 8 divided by 2, that gives me my 4, and I bring down the x. Okay. Just got confusing. Okay. All right, not a problem. Take a breath. Breathe. It's not supposed to be too crazy, okay? You got to think, guys, some of you guys haven't seen this since you were a fetus, and now all of a sudden we're doing this, right? Okay, it's been a minute. We're not walking around saying, I want to take this sign, I want to factor. Yeah, we're not saying that anymore, okay? But, I'm smart after all. Yes, you are smart. Do not doubt yourselves. All right. Oh, yeah, wait, I was right. I just guessed. Okay. All right. I is doing this. Not a problem. Negative divided by a negative gives me a positive. That's why I'm putting a plus sign here. And then 12 divided by 2 gives me my 6. Oh, for even trying this math. Exactly. You tell them. I want to just keep calling you Turkey because it just reminds me of the turkey sign. I don't know. Turkish sign. I don't even know the original question. Ouch, my back. Okay. The names you guys give yourselves is hilarious. Now, here's the thing. Remember, this 12 was a negative. The minus sign acts as a negative. So a negative divided by a negative is going to turn to a positive. When the signs are the same, your result is always going to be positive. Okay? All right. Okay, cool. Well, good evening. All right. Is it crazy I knew the answer just by looking at the numbers? No. Definitely needed. Been a hot minute. Yeah, I get it. All right. Is it crazy I knew the answer just by looking at the numbers? No, it's not crazy. Yeah, it's not crazy. All right. So this is factored. Can we do more with it? Probably. Okay. But right now, again, we just want to get that GCF underway. All right. So let's go with another one. Let me see if I can really get it going. So let's say 25 u squared minus 14u. So make that a little bit bigger. So 25u squared minus 14u. What is this for? Well, we're doing a lot of reviewing. People that need help with algebra, maybe people that need help with the GED or the AccuPlacer or ASVAT. We're just trying to cover as much as we can just to kind of freshen our memory. You know, that's all we're doing, Kayla. I was thinking that we could do more. We could do some factoring, not this particular one, but the one we did before. We could do it completely. But I want to make sure we understand the GCF first. I'm the type of person, I don't like to throw out too much all at once, because then everyone's mad confused. Then what's the whole point of all this? Just for us to sit here and twiddle our thumbs? Nah. Okay. Let's break down the math barrier. Qualitative reasoning section of that. Not really. I'm not really a whole qualitative reasoning, but never know. If you message me and possibly like take a picture of it, we'll figure out a way to let me take a look at what you're doing before I start judging myself. Okay, you know. Oh, you're so welcome. Ooh, Paco, you're very close. You're very close. Is the GCF 1? It's a lot of algebra. Okay. All right, please do. Please do. And if you're free, like relatively morning-ish, early afternoon, we might be able to do a little something. Okay, wave theory has a thought. Some of us could do it, but couldn't show the work, but had the right answer. We're all different. Exactly. Exactly. I'm a firm believer that we all learn differently. We all can learn, and especially people when they said there's special ed, you just learn differently. You know, some people just need more time to process. Some people just need resources to remember. Some people, I actually had a student that couldn't read off of white paper. I had to print everything off of blue paper. That was the longest year of my life. But I did it, and she did well because, you know, she was able to read what was going on, you know? All right, so we have a couple of, is it 1U? I have a 25U. The GCF is 1. It will remain the same. So the ones that are saying it's 1, take a look at your variables. Also, your handwriting is so nice. Oh, well, thank you. Because it's the end of the day. Because if you saw it during my tutoring sessions, you would be like, oh, dear God. Like, I need for you to straighten that out. Okay, someone actually got it. Someone actually got it. I think it was Paco, and there was someone else that actually got it. There's square numbers along. There's square numbers along exponents. What do you mean, Carl? If you can clarify, I would greatly appreciate it. Someone else said it before. Maybe it was Paco. I think it was someone else that mentioned it. All right. So, 25 and 14. 25 is an odd number. 14 is an even number. So, even if I can't do the 2s, I can't do 3s, because 3s doesn't work with the 14 nor the 25. Can't do 4s, can't do 5s. It works with the 25, but not the 14. Can't do 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s. Just can't. Okay? So the GCF cannot be 25 because 25 and 14 are not in common. So they do have a 1. And I agree with that. But then don't forget to check the variables. Okay? All right? So yeah, 25 is a square of 5, but 14 is not a square of 7. Okay? So if you're going to do it that way, it has to be the same rhythm. Okay? So it's almost like a song. You got to have the same beat. Okay? Even though the beat is going faster or slower, it's still kind of like that same rhythm, either double time, quadruple time, or single time. Okay? So if you're going to do the square root of the 25, that means you have to be able to do the square root of the 14 in order for that to work. Okay? I think you factor out U. Yes, you. Feel like Soldier Boy right there. All right? The reason why we have 2 U's here, we have 1 U there, so we have 1 U in common. Now, we are going to divide the original by the GCF in order to figure out what goes in. So the 25 is going to be the same. I have 2 U's and I pulled out 1 U. That means I have 1 U left minus 14 comes down. We have 1 U. We pulled out 1 U, so we don't have any U's left. So this is our factored of our original 25U squared minus 14U. Okay. All right. And it is that, Paco. Yes, it is. Use the words factors. Use the words factors. Okay. You feel better? Please use mather. Mather. What's mather? Okay. Keep me on this side of TikTok, please. Definitely need to get back on this. All right, not a problem. I mean, that's why we're here. Okay. Now, let's try another one. And I'm going to, put it over here. So let's see if we can do 6x squared plus 16x minus 8. Can you see that? Okay. So 12x squared plus 16x minus 8. Where are we? Oh, here we are. Oh, can you do one more where we're pulling out multiple variables? It's coming. Oh, it's coming. It's on my list. The way I'm struggling is crazy. It's okay. It's been a while. Relax. It's gonna be okay. All right, thanks, no problem. All right, so I'm seeing 4s, I'm seeing 2s, I'm seeing 4s. Okay. It's 4 GCF. I'm seeing 4s. Okay, ouch my butt. Now do all of them, ouch my back, sorry. I'm doing, does all of them have an X in common? All right. I'm just going to sit back and watch what comes of this. Okay, not a problem. I know. Makes you want to like hilarious. Oh yeah, trust me. At this time of night, there's a lot of things that can probably slip out of my mouth. That'll be hilarious. Okay. All right, Nell. All right. So there seems to be a competition between 3s and 4s. Which is the greatest common factor? What will be the greatest one? And shoot for that. All right. Children of the Sun. Love that. Okay. All right. Oops. All of a sudden I'm not seeing my messages. Okay, there we go. All right. You could use 2, but is that the greatest? So if we take a look, we have 12, we have 16, and we have 8. So all of them are even. So we know that 2, I'm going to put it up here, 2 is a possible factor. Now, we can't use 3s because they're not multiples of 3 because of the 8 and the 16. We could use 4s because 4 can go into 12, 16, and 8. Can't be in 5s because none of them end in 0 or 5. 6s will work for the 12 and the 12 only, so that's why that can't do it. 7 can't work. 8 can work for the 8 and the 16, but not for the 12. Okay, same thing. 9s can't work. 10s can't work. 11s can't work. 12 only works for the 12. So right now I'm kind of looking at 2 and 4. Because if I have to go into a lot farther, I can't go past 8 because 8 is my smallest number. So I shouldn't even like try to look after 8s. I shouldn't be looking at 9s or 10s and so forth because I can't go past 8. So your greatest common is going to be 4. So if I pull the 4 out, now I'm looking at the variables. This has an x squared. This has an x, but this is a constant. It doesn't have an x. So I can't pull an x out because all 3 terms don't have an x in common. All right? But you could factor 4x out of the first 2 terms. But here we go, Santana. It has to go with all 3 terms. Okay? It has to work with all 3 of them. Okay? All right. All right, so it's not going to be 4x. It's just going to be, yes, it's just going to be just the 4. Okay, it's got to be something that works for all 3 terms. Okay, so now, parenthesis, let's see what goes inside this parenthesis. So we go to the original. We divide it by the GCF. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. We have our x squared. We didn't break it down, so we just bring it down. Positive 16x divided by 4 gives me a plus 4x. And a negative 8 divided by 4 gives me a negative 2. Okay. Okay. So I'm doing math with a sleeping pill. Ooh, I bet you're having fun. You're probably seeing some stuff. You're like, I see signs. Like I see pi running all over the place. Okay, halfway getting it, halfway remembering. And that's fine. And you're going to have some very nice dreams when you wake up of numbers chasing you. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, I got it. Good. All right, so as promised, let me see what I can do when it has multiple variables. Everybody's like, oh dear God, Audrey, you had us and now you're doing some funky stuff. Why? It's okay, guys. It's going to be okay. All right. So let me put it to you this way. Let's go with, let's say, if I go with, I'll put it down here. So if I have 6x to the 4th y plus 12x squared y. And you're probably saying, yeah, Audrey, exactly. Why? Why? Okay, I got a headache. I will try again tomorrow. I almost got it. Not a problem. But here's the thing. You're getting a step closer. So I'm expecting to see your name again tomorrow. All right. Again, we're going to walk it through step by step. Okay? All right. This is great. Oh, good. Can you show the problem before this one? Let me unzoom a little bit so you can. Let me slide over. And the problem before was this one right here, where my pen is. All right. Okay, so I'm seeing some 6s. I'm seeing some 6x squared y's. I'm seeing some answers. Brenda was doing this, was doing something. How I felt. Your friend that was doing this was doing something. My friend. Which friend? Doing something that how I followed you. That taught my 5th grader how to find the decimal and mold. Yay! Look at you! Oh, I'm so proud. Do you do any physics? Oh no, sorry, my. I can help. I can help find somebody for you if you need physics. If anything, just drop me a line and I'll do that. Oh, big homie, how are you? Earlier. Oh, okay. When she was on live. Oh, okay. Yes, Evelyn from Impact Math. Oh, okay, Jesse, I got you. Yes. I just got done with physics. Good luck. I'm nervous, but all right. Ooh, Paco, don't be nervous. I think this is okay. Yes. All right. Great. So let's take a look. First thing, when you see something funky like this, go to what you know. So you know you're factoring. So right away, I'm looking at 6 and 12. Okay, 2 could work. True. Not 4, because 4 doesn't work with the 6. 3 could work. All right. 5, definitely not. But 6 would be the sweet one. Okay. So we have our 6. So that takes care of that. Now, look at each variable. So you have x to the 4th and you have x squared. So if there's 4 of them here, there's 2 of them there. How many do we have in common? We have 2 that's in common. And the reason why, if you haven't noticed, there is a pattern. That's the one thing about math you'll like. There's always a pattern. So when we first, I'm just going to slide for a second. I'm going to come back to it. I promise. I promise. So when we had the 12, when we were factoring out this one, the 36t to the 4th plus 24t squared, notice we pulled out t squared. T squared, t squared. When we got to the 25u squared minus 14u, u. Okay, sorry. Notice the lowest exponent always ends up being a part of the GCF. So if you have x to the 4th here and you have x squared there, whatever the lowest exponent is, put it as your GCF. Okay, let's try it. So here we got y. They have 1y here. They have 1y there. So they both have 1y in common. So we're coming to the parenthesis. So now let's divide, right? So 6 divided by 6 gives me 1. I could write the 1, but it's also understood to be there. I have 4 x's. I pulled out 2 x's. So that means there was 2 x's left. There was 1 y. We pulled out a y. There's no y's left. Plus sign comes down. Then we do the process again for the next term. 12 divided by 6, that gives me 2. There's 2 x's here. We pulled out 2 x's. There's no x's left. There was 1 y here. We pulled out 1 y. There's no y's left. This is your factored form. Okay, so for those that put that as their answer in the question mark, I want to see, woohoo! If you were close and you're like, oh, I forgot to bring down the plus sign, I want to see, woohoo! I want to see thumbs up. I want to see celebration. I want to see it, okay? I didn't get it. Aw. What did you get? What did you write down? It's always nice to know that you still got it, right? It's like looking in the mirror. You're like, oh, I got this. I got the cramp, this. And all of a sudden you're like, you know what? I still got that look. Go ahead, girl. I got part of it. Okay. That's still a celebration. We can also simplify the expression in the parentheses. Yes, I know, big homie. I know. Whoa. Actually, no, we cannot, big homie. Sorry, I feel so aggressive right there. No, we can't, big homie. Okay. Because it's not a 1. And if it was a 1, it has to be a negative 1. Okay, gotcha. All right. That's all right, Jesse. Please, relax. Just like I get it, but why not keep all the letters in the parameters and just have the 6 out? Well, we also have to include what they have in common, because here's the thing. Factoring is basically doing the distributive property in reverse. So if I were to distribute this, I'm going to have my 6x squared y times x squared. That will give me my 6x to the 4th y. Woo, try to say that 5 times fast. All right, bring up the plus sign. Then if I distribute the 6x squared y to the 2, I should get my 12x squared y. So if I just leave the x out here, and I have all these things I need to simplify in there, it's not going to be truly factored. And we really wanted to get it truly factored. All right? Okay? Just keep swimming. Exactly. I made a mistake. Just realize it. Not a problem. That's how we do it. It's okay. I'll keep trying. And that's what it is. All right? It is a learning in process. It's a learning in progress. So Let's do a couple more. Yeah, I don't want to do that one yet. That is coming up. But let's do, because I don't think I did that one yet. Okay, so here we go. So let's do our 9 minus 3y minus 15y squared. Ooh. Okay. Why not just do 6 times? Because inside your parentheses is not completely factored. I'm slow right now. I know, it's the pill. Because in the next couple minutes, the fact that you're here, knowing that you are ready to pass out and you're still trying to keep it together, girl, I praise you. Because that would not be me. I'd be like, good night, peace out. This is not making sense. We'll just hit it up again tomorrow. So I appreciate you. Hey, Evelyn, how are you? Because you would still have like terms inside. Yes. Thanks. I'm trying to tilt my eyes closed. Girl, just go to sleep. We'll see each other tomorrow. Like, I can't guarantee that tomorrow will come, but I can't do that. Only God can do that. But so far, I think we're on good terms. So I might be here tomorrow, okay? If I'm alive, I open up my eyes, I will be here tomorrow, all right? So either 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time or again at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time PM, okay? Everyone else is trying to be nice. Like, girl, go to sleep. I might need math when I meet Jesus. He knows. Me too. Can you do one where the exponent is a negative? Factoring when the exponent is a negative, or do you want me to do the properties of exponent when it's a negative? Factoring. Okay. Because usually when you have a negative exponent, you're not factoring. You usually are breaking down a negative exponent when you're dealing with simplifying with the exponential properties. Yeah, because it's very seldom that they're going to give you a negative. Like, unless you're doing the derivative. So that's going to be like calculus. But we're not doing that today. I know. You want to try something fancy. I don't blame you. When will you be live tomorrow? I'm just trying to learn with both of y'all. Yes. So I come on at 1 Eastern Standard Time, which is 12 Central Time. And then I know Evelyn comes on at 1 Central Time. So it's almost like I'll be your warm-up. So you can get the hardest stuff. All right. So Z2. Yay. All right. So what is my GCF? I'll be at work hiding my headphones. No one knows I'm learning math. You're funny. Sorry, typo. Oh, okay. All right. So I'm seeing 3s. Saw a couple 3s. A couple more 3s. All right. Yes. Why not 3y? I'm just seeing 3s. Why not 3y? Just playing devil's advocate right now. Why not 3y? Because the 9 doesn't have a y, not all have a y. Because the 9 doesn't have a y, the 9 doesn't have a y. Very good. Erase that question mark at the end. Confidence. All right. Yes, because the 9 does not have a y next to it. Good. So our GCF is 3. What's going on? What's going to go inside the parenthesis? Okay, and then type it in as best you can. I totally get it. Okay, too cool for you, Paco. Yes, yes. Yep, don't for Star Brooks, don't forget the variables when you get a chance. But I get what you're saying. All right, very nice, guys. Because 9 divided by 3 gives me 3. We have our minus sign. 3 divided by 3 gives me 1, but I don't need the 1 because I still have the y. Bring down my negative. 15 divided by 3 gives me my 5. And since I didn't factor out a y squared, if I didn't break it down, I'm bringing it down. Okay. All right. I got it. Yes, Tracy. So some people will like it like that. Some people, I'm coming back. Here you go. There you go. Now, here's the thing. Inside this parenthesis, some people would like to put it in what's called standard form. So that means we're going to start with the one with my highest exponent, my highest degree, and work the way down in the descending order. So the GCF that's outside, that stays out there. But we just want to arrange what's inside this parenthesis to put it in descending order. Because sometimes, especially some of the exams, like even though they gave it to you like this, but they will put their answers in what's called standard form. Okay, so can you complete the square with parabolas? I could, but we're not doing that tonight. That's something completely different. Okay, so we would only factor out the y if each has a y. Yes, so if all 3 terms had a y, that's when you would factor out the y. Okay, and too cool for you says we have a negative 5y squared because this minus sign is going to the 5. Then we have our negative y because this minus sign is going to the y. And this 3 is a positive 3. Remember, the signage is always to the left of the number. All right? So you can either have it that way or this way. Okay. I've just been doing that. Okay. Good. So how are you guys feeling? Oh, thank you. My handwriting. Yeah, it's the end of the night. Usually I'm very shocked and surprised that it's actually giving right now. Give me some more. So demanding. Can we tack a word please onto that? Jeez. Here's my girl. She is still holding on. How do you determine which for the 2 standard or the other? Now, this will come in. Standard form always starts with the highest exponent, and it goes in the descending order. Like this is to the second power. This is actually to the first power, and this is a constant. But if they just say fill in the blanks and you give them this as an answer, most tests will take that. Okay, but if they say place your answer in standard form, you need to do it like this. Okay, thank you. See, I got one right. See, if you stopped where you were, you would have never gotten to that point. I'm very proud of you. Okay, it's almost like that meme with the guy that was like one stroke away from getting diamonds or getting jewelry, and another person just keeps digging, and just keep at it. That's what you gotta do, guys. Like math, it takes practice. Now, let me do my little side thing. So, if anything, this is the one thing, especially for those that are taking a class or for those people that are thinking about studying math. When you study math, you don't just flip through your pages and be like, oh, okay, yeah, right, okay, I got that, yeah, That's not how you study math, okay? I don't care what your kids say. Yeah, I studied for my homework. No, you didn't, okay? Just flipping through it does not work. So if you notice the problems that we have, this is how you will do study math. So you have your original problem. You get a separate sheet of paper. On that separate sheet of paper, you write out the problem. Then you take your notes. You put it away. And then you work out the problem. Okay? You get an answer. After you get your answer, you bring your notes back. And then you check the original from your notes with what you got on your paper. That's how you study math. You're using your notes as an answer key. And I think a lot of people don't realize that, okay? So not leaving to get one completely right. I've been close, but not completely. Okay, all right, I see, okay? So when you do with all your notes, you're basically practicing. That's how you practice it. You have to practice it, and then you have to go step by step. So that's why I always like to say to my students, where's your notes? All right? And then, of course, I get something like this. This is a copy of one of my kids' notes, right? And I said, okay, what does your notes say? And majority of the time, they can't tell you what to say. They just say, I wrote down what the teacher wrote down. And you're like, okay, so then what was the purpose of doing your notes? Like working on your penmanship or what? Like, not to be rude, but that's really what's happening. So when you look, like I know some teachers will say, okay, just copy this part. They'll stop and they'll explain what exactly they copied down. All right, now copy this section, and then we'll stop and then explain what you copied down. This is like almost, I don't want to say it's an art form, but this is how a lot of the teaching just kind of needs to happen. But when they get notes, they need to look over their notes so they have a good idea. But if they don't know what they're saying, who knows? So if you like the way these notes are being designed, I actually designed this notebook. All right, this is all me. See, here's me in the back. There's proof. I just got tired of my students not knowing how to organize because no one teaches how to write down notes, especially in math. Now, with my math notebook, you have the space here, but also on the other side, we have more space so you can do additional problems, you can do graphing, you can do all that on here. I like the section where if there are certain formulas you need to write down, I think there's a couple of them I have in here, like when we're looking at slope, graphing. So here's the formulas that I have for the equation of the line, where I have for slope. And then also a section where they can write down their steps. We got to understand, kids nowadays, a lot of them have work after school. If it's not work, it's sports, it's something. We don't have one-dimensional students anymore, all right? They're always doing something. So when it's time for them to sit down and do their homework, they're like, wait, I don't remember what my teacher said. So now they have like these little quick steps that they can use to help guide them through things. And then plus the examples here for them to follow along. Now, in addition to this, I have resource pages. So within the resource pages, I have what's called a factor sheet. If you have students that are not strong with multiplication because they do not know how to read a multiplication chart, trust me, go ahead, go to any kid, your kids, nieces, nephews, cousins, whatever. Ask them to read the multiplication chart, and I'll bet you they'll struggle. So with this, it kind of gives them Like if I want to find the multiples of, I don't know, of 72, I can come here to 72, and then I have all the factors of 72 right at my fingertips. This helps especially like if you need to break down radicals. This is your perfect prime combination. It also, what's in yellow is your prime numbers. What's in blue is your perfects. And I have this from 1 to 200. Okay, so this is really geared towards like kids that are in 7th grade all the way to adults. Then in addition to that, the rules of integers. Remember we were talking about adding the rules, subtracting the rules with examples, multiplying and dividing. If you get into word problems, the most used word problems for adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, equals, inequalities. Then the rules, once you go to linears and quadratic, you have all those formulas for linear and quadratic. As well as, oh, good. As well as you have your properties of exponents. So someone did ask me about those negative exponents. Here we go with the rule. If you have a negative exponent and it's in the numerator, that means it drops in the denominator to make it positive. If it's already in the denominator when it's negative, that means it pops up into the numerator to make it positive. Okay, we're looking at those inverses. All right, so order of operations, both in the US and international. What are those words and phrases? Then we get into trig. Okay, so the SOHCAHTOA, the Pythagorean theorem. Also, we're looking at volume and looking at the circle, sectors, arc length, volume, and surface areas on this side. All right, and last but not least, when you're in Algebra 2 and up, the unit circle. Oh, the things you will do with this unit circle. All right. And like most times, people just need a break. And I like to have a little brain break just to help to kind of refocus their brains. Some puzzles just for kids to kind of just do. And as well as like a color me section, just so you aimlessly color. And then if you have some kids or people that are into pixel art, they can do their pixel art in here, or maybe even sketch something right there. All right, so I need that book. Yes, I have it available on Amazon. So it is readily available. You have this cover. It's called the Ultimate Math Notebook. This is for 7th through adults. And if you have anyone that is younger, eventually, there's so much paper in this house. It's so ridiculous. Then I have this one from 4th and 6th graders. I basically have a lot of these math tiles so students will be able to write down numbers and keep it aligned. I have this one 5th grader. I feel like I get seasick every time I look at his notes because it's like, nah. But again, they still have the formula section. They still have the step. Yes, you had a hard time with the unit circle. Yes. Okay. I was taught the unit circle in physics and OMG, still trying to understand it. I know, trust me. It took me a minute, and I had to teach it. So, is this the same book in your bio links? Yes, it is. Oh, it got real. Okay, what do I buy this? Or where do you buy this? You can go to Amazon to buy it. So what's it called? The Ultimate Math Notebook. I'm like reading what she's saying. So it is on Amazon. I just bought it on Amazon. Oh, thank you. So same support that I give for my older kids, talk about fractions a little bit. And then also the fractions and decimals and percentage, like how to go back and forth, fractions operations, place values. Notice everything is in color. I wanted to do that. That's what I had to spring for. That's why it's expensive, because color is expensive. But it's like the kids can see it so much quicker. And then decimal operations, which we were working on yesterday. Long division, estimating and rounding, conversion chart, Same with the order of operation and exponents. Area and perimeter. If you do see the summarization, I try to use the summarization notation here, meaning that it's the sum of the sides. You're going to add up all the sides. So just give them into a little spark into some more information. Again with the words, and then here's an example. All right. So this is basically with the 4th through 6th grade. And then I have the 7th through adults. All right. So now that was enough of that. So again, it's on Amazon. If you want, you can go to my website and where it says paperback available on Amazon, click on the Amazon link. I think I just need to emphasize that a little bit clearer, which I will do. That was on my to-do list for today. But anyway. Is good. A different cover looks like bubbles. Yes, that's the right one. Yes. So there's like a green one, and this is the one with the bubbles. Don't worry about the not for sale sign on there because I was looking at the author list. Yes, it is the same. This is really useful material. Yes. I mean, thank you. Just add it to my basket. Thank you, Sue. I appreciate that. So for my 9th grader, thank you so much. It was not a problem, because anything to assist kids, I'm all for it. Like, there are times I'll stay up here until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning trying to think of like, how can I make things better? Not so much easier, but how to make it better for them to keep track. And regardless of, a lot of people will say, well, this person has ADHD, this person has this disability. And just so they labeled us with the same disability does not mean that they know that we have the same abilities. We do not. Everyone is different. Even twins, they're all different. There might be certain things that they have that's similar, but there's a little bit of difference between them. So it's just like, you can't just keep treating people exactly the same. That doesn't make sense to me. Even with siblings, I've had multiple siblings. They're like, you had my brother. And I'm like, I know, but you're not your brother. You're you. And I think people appreciate that because I want to know you. I want to know what you like. You may not like the same thing as your brother. You may not like the same thing as your twin. So I'm going to treat you differently. All right. So the cover reminds me of the agendas. Oh, yes. Remember those? Remember those agendas? Oh, my goodness. They were so disgusting. Like, because you guys take them everywhere. You take them to the bathroom. It fell on the floor a couple of times. And you're still touching it and you're bringing it back. It's crazy. Ugh. I'm always like, just go. They're like, but I need it. Just go. But Miss Codner, you got to sign it. Dude, seriously, just go. I'm not touching that thing. I'm 40 and take some refresher classes to be able to take college math. Not a problem. If you ever need assistance, like this is why I'm here. I had a therapist for my son tell me that he sees it all in his 40s. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's awesome. And my son hasn't been around for 40 years. I know. There is some interesting stuff in schools. And I haven't been in this classroom for 5 years. So this is my 5th year of actually tutoring without anybody, with just doing online tutoring. All right. So we did the GCF. And I think I'm going to pause here because tomorrow we're going to be doing something called grouping. And some people know how to do the grouping. Some people don't. It's another form. There's a lot with factoring. It's not just one and done. There's so many different levels. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause here. If there's any questions, can't find it. Where are you looking, Jesse? Are you looking on Amazon or on my website? Okay, not a problem. Oh, get some rest, my dear. Please, rest assured. All right, so we're going to do some grouping next time, and then when we do trinomials, I'm going to show you something called the AC method. And I think a lot of teachers are still doing grouping when they do with the trinomials. I have like a shorter way to do it. And I think it was a big hit like many years ago, but now everybody's doing it through grouping. So we're going to finish with the GCF. We're still going to take a lot of this to carry over into grouping. We got grouping tomorrow. Then we're going to do the AC method. And we will probably do the difference of squares. So we'll see how things go. All right. Where can I find on Amazon? Well, if you want, yes, good night. Went straight to Amazon and bought it. Okay, so you can go, if you go to Amazon, if you type in my name, Audrey Codner, Codner, and you just hit enter, it'll take you straight to my page. So it'll give you like straight to the listing of it. If you want to follow it, you can always follow it too. Can you do a full page shot of these notes, please? Sure. Let me unzoom a little bit. Let's see if I can. Okay. Let me know when you got it. Any recommendations to study for the ASVAT? Yes. Which branch are you going into? Princess, which branch? Air Force. Okay. So that's fine. Because the reason why I asked, because believe it or not, Air Force, they're the ones that have a little bit of calculus in their test. So the one that I've done with like practice, and this is like the older version of it, I've used this one, and I've got off of Amazon. Children's book. Yeah, it's a lot of meaning in it. Yes. That's exactly. Thank you for pointing that out, Boo. I appreciate that because that's what I wanted to. I wanted something that would have some meaning, not just regular math. So if you want to do, you can do ASVAT math for this one. Some, especially Air Force, some of them go a little bit deeper with the Algebra 2 and some pre-calc. So they try to slip it in to see, especially you want to be an officer, they usually want to take someone that has done some calculus. So, but just to get a heads up, unless they change that test, and that was like just before the pandemic. So just to kind of give you a heads up. Let's just say, I love this. I teach in the community college, and this note-taking idea is excellent. Oh, thank you. Yes, trust me. A lot of my students actually like it, and then plus the factoring piece. And sometimes I put like little tabs so it's so easy for me, easy for me to get to where I want to get to. My kids are all about this factor sheet. And sometimes I tell the kids, don't let your teachers copy it, because I put the copyright on there. And they were like, my teacher was like, I will pay you $10 just to get that factor sheet. I'm like, girl, it is not that serious. You can just buy the book. Have fun. Let's see. I think there was a couple other things. Okay, haven't seen this rec, but I'll check it out. Okay, Core for Dummies. Well, I do have a course, and thank you so much. Not a problem. So I do have a course for my ASVAT. That's on my website. If you want to go through that, you can use the subscription. That's fine. Find it good price too. Thank you. What's the book called? I'm taking as soon as I can. Which book? This one? The ASVAT, and this I got off of Amazon. The ASVAT math. My little note thing. See, this one's from like 2020 to 2021, but they have some updated ones as well. And this guy, he probably has, let me see if I can raise it up a little bit. He's been doing a lot of his own books, and his thing is called Effortless Math. And the one thing that I do appreciate about his books, and that's what I'm going to be doing next for my own workbook. So if I slip, I'll just show you the book. So come with a tour for someone else's book. So you see how it kind of breaks it down, gives you some notes, it gives you some examples and some practice problems, right? But he's actually took it up a notch, and that's something that I want to do. He puts QR codes on the upper right. So all you have to do is scan the QR code and you can get a video recording of how to do that page. So if you ever see any of this gentleman's work, go to it, okay? They're not together anymore. Why do I know about these people and their lives? I don't know. But I haven't seen Ava's name on anything for a while. It's like, what's up with the breakup? Like, oh, it was all about math, so they had to break it off. So anything with his stuff on there, I do recommend. And I get nothing from recommendations. I don't know about this affiliate marketing stuff. But I just know good when I see good. And I just like to pass that on. Okay. Found it. Okay. The one with factoring. What's the book called? I'm taking the one with factoring. Okay. How long is it? I'll take a look because I want to study for 3 months. Okay. So the course, you should be, if you're dedicated with it, you should be able to finish it in like 3 months. It's very self-paced, so it's going to be up to you. And most of my things are like 20 minutes, but you can fast forward, you can reverse, and plus you'll get like practice problems in there. You'll also get answer keys, and there are a couple quizzes that I put in them. That one displaying now. This one? Okay. I was like, I'm trying to catch up. This is my math notebook that's on Amazon. So I just basically been just doing a couple lives and just writing inside of it. I also like the fact that if there's a paper that your teacher is like, I definitely need for you to keep this with your notebook, you can tape it in, and then on the other side have the students summarize what's on that paper. So that's kind of helping them solidify their understanding as well. Do you do Math Plus more? What is Math Plus? Is that like a program? Because I don't know what that is. Oh, the ASVAT training course. I just basically look at a lot of what has been coming in and going out for the ASVAT. So the last person that I've had for ASVAT was 3 months ago, and he was going into the Army. And it just seems like Army is so much easier to go in, whereas Air Force is tougher academically. Marines is tougher, I want to say physically to an extent. Yeah, physically. How you doing, my friend? Oh my God, California! I'm doing well. We were just working on some math here. We're just kind of close to wrapping up. Oh, thank you so much for the hearts, for the gifts. Okay. Looks like I missed a good lesson. Well, it's okay. How are you? Well, don't worry. Well, today's lesson is not this. So today's lesson, if you want to take a screenshot, I can let you take a screenshot of it. So today we were kind of working on factoring polynomials with the GCF. So just got out of work. Oh, how was work? Even if it's the end. Yes. Happy to catch you live. Oh, thank you. I hope everything's going well with you. I know. It's like, when do you go live? I go live at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Fridays. And then Wednesday through Thursdays, I'm on at 8:30. Yes, I do have a schedule. Yes. It's a holiday today. I know. And especially as a tutor, it's really hard. Everyone thinks that holidays is great, but for as a tutor, it's horrible. Because the kids don't have school, so they're like, I don't need tutoring. And then all of a sudden they call you on Wednesday like, I am so behind. And next thing you know, I'm tutoring till like 11, sometimes 1 o'clock in the morning, depending on the time change. I really appreciate you for this. Not a problem. All right, cool. So I am about to wrap up. Because yesterday I was on for 3.5 hours and I'm still recovering. I know. It's just like, dang. I was like, I know. But if anything, we are going to be revisiting GCF a little bit tomorrow. And then we're going to go into grouping. So we're going to hit hard on that. The following day, I'm going to show you the AC method. And how they also break down trinomials. So they can try and break down trinomials one of two ways. But I'm going to show you my AC method way. Okay? Yes, thank you. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. And look at all these likes. My goodness. 10.8? This is nuts. You've been amazing coaching me through this. I'll be back. Yay! That's what I love. I love when people come back. I love that. I love the fact that I can help. That's what I'm here for. I just want to help and to help alleviate as much stress as possible. Because we all know that going back to math, especially if you were involved in math and it was traumatic in the beginning because you had a teacher that was like, this is my way, my highway, and didn't understand that there's multiple ways of getting the same answer, as well as, you have those quick flashbacks of, oh, I'm dumb. I will never do this. I don't want to feel dumb ever again. So what do? You fight or you flight. And majority of us, sometimes we flight, especially when it comes to math. And then we tell our kids, oh, you're destined to not be good at math because I wasn't good at math. Well, it's not a hereditary thing, okay? It's not a hereditary trait. But I'm just really proud of you. Thank you for just giving me the time. Thank you for giving me the motivation. And I'm hoping to continue to do this for you guys to help you find your greatness and you can shine it upon the world. Okay, that's all I really ever want. Okay? Oh, not a problem. All right, have a great evening and take care of yourselves. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay? All right. Thank you so much for the likes and all the gifts and everything. I greatly appreciate that. And if you do need any assistance, if you know someone that's looking for a tutor, I'm a 7-day-a-week type girl. So just let me know how I can assist. All right. So I think that's about it. And then I'll make some other announcements later on. All right. Have a lovely evening. Take care of yourselves. All right. Good night.